But he had a long-term strategy. But I'm sorry.
Lucky that he didn't make contact.
Lifted out of midair, and the Bucks have tied this game at 2.
I can respect that they wanted to go a different way, and Arenas had already shown that, okay, I did this before, and now I'm even better. And I guess,
He gets results.
yeah.
Well, see, as long as they qualify, the pressure's off him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody cares, really. I mean, nobody expects the UFC to run anything.
I love, again, my view is totally biased through the eyes of a Real Salt fan, but I love when Klinsmann brought Beckerman and Raimondo in, and then Beltran out on the right as right back. Well, I thought Marcelo was coming over, so I have his pin still from the volleyball game.
Yes. Seriously, Rocky. Who is it?
Lustig.
Appreciate your support and thank you for being here. We have to support the community and keep happy to add
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Up until now, life's big choices were being made by someone else. Things
what's
like
Oliveira
what you
wearing?
wore on your first birthday, what elementary school you attended, if your best friend could sleep over,
I was on a road trip
or where you spent
college
Thanksgiving.
and
Sometimes
totally
even
forgot to
choices
bring
like
one of
if
my
you get to text on an iPhone,
jerseys.
Android,
Right.
or not being allowed to text.
So I
But
had to
now
go
it's
around
your turn to make a choice.
all of the players and
Perhaps one of
promise
the
them
biggest you'll
things
ever make.
if they
Choosing
would
a
lobby
university
for us
that's
to wear a
right for
certain
you.
color. I kept
One that's
saying,
the
we're
right
going to
fit.
wear black. We're not
At
going to wear
Barry
gold.
University,
We're going to
you
wear
know
black.
that.
And we got to convince
Founded
the
in
coach
Miami in
that we're going to wear
1940 by
black.
the
Because
Adrian
I
Dominican
forgot
sisters,
my gold
Barry's
jersey.
growth into one of the largest Catholic
Beautiful.
universities in
I
the
owed-
Southeast has been shaped by our core values. Barry's liberal arts focus
Yeah,
and small
but,
class
it was
sizes
fall
enables
in
us
Colorado,
to
so
emphasize
it
the
wasn't-
Catholic intellectual tradition, integration of learning, reflection,
Where were we?
and
We were at
action.
northern
It's
Colorado.
what
Yeah.
we call living a Barry
So
life.
I owed
And when you choose to live a Barry life,
about
it's a full
18
schedule.
people
With over 100
different things.
bachelor's, master's, and doctoral
The
programs,
freshmen
there's
were the
lots
worst
of core
because
classes and
I was
studying.
a
But there's
junior,
also
junior.
new friends
So,
from all over the world,
I-
A bit of
new
retribution
coaches,
on there.
I
and
had
new
to,
reasons to cheer, like rooting for
get the
Barry's
equipment out, put the
NCAA
equipment back.
championship
I had to
teams
do
and
the
players.
laundry.
And
I
let's
had
not
to do,
forget the Miami
I mean,
weather. You'll read under the palms on our
Hey, at the very least,
122-acre
you had
campus.
one less gold
Grab
chip
a
to
bite
watch.
with some friends. Volunteer to clean up the waterfront. Intern at a multinational company. Field moms and dads' texts and calls. And that's just part of it. And don't forget, it's Miami, the 305. Hang out in South Beach with friends. Go shopping, paddleboarding, snorkeling on a reef, and relax in the sun. Remember, you're not just going to a university. You're going a lot farther in life. So choose Barry University and live a Barry life.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Choosing a university that's right for you. It's the biggest choice you'll ever make in life. At Barry University, we know that. Barry's one of the oldest and largest universities in South Florida, with over 100 bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs. Our small class sizes on our 122-acre campus provides the ideal learning environment for you and our NCAA championship teams. Remember, you're not just going to a university, you're going a lot farther in life. So choose Barry University and live a Barry life.
Welcome you to Miami Shores here on GoBarryBucks.com for today's Sunshine State Conference matchup between the Tampa University Spartans and your Barry University Buccaneers. Barry, I'm Danny Angus, joined here by Doctor. That's Dr. Ludwig you heard in the background, ready for today's game. We're excited for some soccer action. Barry's got some work to do. They need to get themselves in the win column here.
Score goals.
Score goals. Those are the keys. We'll show some keys to the game here in just a second, but I think the biggest key here, Doctor, is score goals.
I don't remember the last time that the Bucks have scored a goal. So, and my memory is okay for an old lady, but come on, guys.
Still pretty sharp, Doctor, in my book. Barry 0-3-1 in the conference. Tampa 2-1-1 in the conference. 3-2-1 overall. Barry 0-4-2 overall. So the big key today, like you say, Doctor, score goals. They need to get a win in the win column. That's what it comes down to. Starting for the Spartans, we've got double zeros. Jake Richard in goal. Number 2, Ramsey Torre, defender. Number 4 in midfield, Victor Strand. Number 7, Bay Downing, forward. Number 8, Monty Barrow, a forward. Number 9, Juancho Fernandez, a forward. Number 10, Louis Sugden, a midfielder. Number 13, Felipe de Souza, listed as a forward. There's a lot of forwards so far, Doctor. I don't think they'll all be up top.
No, I don't think so. But
it's like we got 9 and 13 up top, so that's De Souza and Fernandez. Also have 15, Zach Silfel, defender at number 19. John Bentham, a defender at number 20. Marcel Salocat, a forward. We'll see how many of those forwards move back into midfield.
So they're either a forward or a defender. We don't have anybody in midfield.
Nobody in midfield. Somebody's got to end up in midfield on Tampa side. We're just going off the roster
We'll
here.
See, yeah.
We'll line them up here. This is Aguirre on the ball for the Bucks. He switches it right side out to 13, Sergio Yepes.
The Bucks are playing a 3 in the back right now, so they look like they're playing 3 back. Kosmala Lustig playing centrally in the midfield. The 3 in the back are Fernandez, who's wearing number 4 right there, Fisher, number 19, and Amaya is number 2 right there with the ball.
If you're looking at rosters and wondering why João Oliveira looks a little bit different, as Doctor mentioned, he's wearing, that's Bruno Fernandez wearing number 4, normally in 14.
We're not quite sure why, but you know.
Got the call just before the game. He made the switch. Still looks good in number 4.
So Fura is in. He's number 16 for the Bucks. Number 11 is Urquidy up top. Out on the right there, that's Gonzalez, number 23, and with the ball right there is a Yepes. Looks like he's earned a corner kick for the Bucks.
Good way to start the match here.
I'll take it.
Give yourself an opportunity to line things up. Maybe take one from the training pitch and see what kind of magic the Bucks can work.
I don't know. I don't remember if I've ever had a set play work exactly how you've designed it in all my crazy years. Urquidy had an opportunity.
Yeah, that ball found its way over the goalkeeper, reached a hand up, but
that could have something to say about the talent my team's had on set plays, of course, but it's interesting. They never quite work out the way you've designed them, but if you're lucky, you've put yourself in a position to get some success.
Add a few defenders to the mix that don't know exactly what you normally do, and a little bit of nerves changes things up quite a bit. Bucks kick that one off, or Tampa kicks that one out. That'll be a Buck throw. Also have Urquidy up top. Here's Urquidy on the ball right now. He's going to be whistled for perhaps stepping.
Very long whistle, so I guess it was a more egregious foul than normal.
So one way to tell. You can't see the faces from up here, so we have to go by whistles.
Yep.
Little quick whistles, just a little quick infraction. That one egregious in the ref's eyes, perhaps.
Perhaps.
We may be interpreting it differently than intended.
Could be. Maybe he's just warming up.
Hopefully not. We like to see the game played without too many whistles, too many stops, nice flow to the game, not too many fouls. Here's some good movement, a little 1-2s moving through
the midfield from the Bucks.
I like that. I like the relationship between Kosmala and Lustig so far. They've been working well together.
This one out on the far side. Barry will throw it in.
Yeah, so Gonzalez is throwing it in. He's really playing very offensively in his setup. Like I said, it almost looks like he's more of a midfielder, really, than a back. Nice run. I like what I'm seeing here, Danny. This is good movement of the ball.
Bucks connecting well here early. 5 minutes into this matchup. Bucks controlling possession, controlling the game to this point. It's Gonzalez out to Yepes. Yepes makes a little move, tries to get by the defender. He'll hang on to it. Bucks maintain possession. Here's the ball into the box. Booted away by the center back. Big center back in for Tampa.
Oh, Gary got.
There's a Gary running along the
done.
baseline. He gets a corner for the Bucks.
He recovered well from a not great first touch there.
The ball hanging out on Tampa's side of the pitch for the majority of this opening 5 minutes here.
Yeah, like the Bucks are really playing well. They're very crisp with their first touch. They're moving the ball quickly. You'll notice not a lot of 4, 5, 6 touches. It's 1, 2, and 3 touch.
Here's Fernandez, whips the ball in. A couple of defenders there to keep that away. Aguirre, here's Gonzalez.
Why not? Yep.
He'll have a go. It goes wide, but it bounces off a Tampa defender first. Another corner for the Bucks.
Yep. Bucks are winning all of these loose balls in midfield as well, which is how you maintain the pressure for Tampa. Don't let them out of the back.
Here's a ball in over most defenders' header.
Lustig just wide.
Keeper knew that was out the whole time, but Lustig challenged that far post. Near post for Lustig, I guess.
I like it. I like it.
And here's Tampa moving the ball into midfield. That's number 20, Marcel Salokat.
The Bucks are playing very tightly.
Gary gets the steal. Salokat takes it right back.
Now you play 3 in the back, and now they're kind of coming to their normal 4 back. But the Bucks are really pushing up to pressure in the midfield and try and prevent the Spartans from getting a good transition. And so far they've been doing that very, very well.
Now you'll see Fernandez looks like he's the one making the push up into the midfield more. So, well, even
yeah, Gonzalez is
Gonzalez,
also.
yeah. They're kind of switching off. It's going to be...
And it might be like a strong side, weak side thing, you know. So ball side you're going to push up, and then the weak side maybe drop back. We'll see.
See how they play it out. Either way, holding down the back is Amaya and Francis for the Bucks. Those 2 fullbacks, they're going to be the key piece here to try and keep that back defensive line strong for the Bucks. That one off the fence, hopefully it did not pop.
Almost a souvenir for us. I got you there, Danny. I can
reach out and grab that one.
Right. I'm ducking right behind you is what I'm going to do.
I'll be here.
All right.
I'll be
take
here
one for the team.
Send that one back onto the pitch, see if I can get a header to the right place.
Out of bounds over there.
Tampa with a couple of opportunities, not able to push it too far forward to this point. Buccaneers take that one back away. Here's Fernandez. Back to Fisher.
And I really like the addition of Kosmala in as the defensive midfielder because it allows Lustig to, and then I say that, sorry, the
commentator's curse.
Yeah, but it allows Lustig to be a little bit more free to go forward and create things. And I think that's desperately what the Bucks need.
Well, Bay Downing tries to put that ball into the box, ends up scooping it a little bit and sending it over out of harm's way. Here's Gonzalez. Fura trying to push forward, picked off there. It didn't have his head up to see who was up in front.
No, you're right. I mean, that was kind of a little rushed.
In the right circumstances, that can pay off. Tampa there, ready for it. Here we go, finding the open man. That's number 8, Monty Barrow in the midfield.
This is better from the Spartans here, moving the ball. And that's the ball the Bucks want to win, right there. They almost did, but...
Stopped his run. Tampa still with possession.
Yeah. Fernandez did well to keep it there for the Spartans. But you don't want to give the free entry pass.
Back to the back line for a reset. There's Yepes pushing in. He gets beat.
That's a little too much space.
Yep.
Yep.
Too much space on the defensive side.
Right. I mean, it's good. Part of the reason you reset is to create some more space for yourself offensively, and the Bucks didn't move out quick enough to take up that space, and it allowed the Spartans to move into midfield much easier than they've been able to in the past.
There's a shot ripped right at the keeper. He punches it away. Well done. Didn't have to move much for it, but still had to defend it. There's Marco Sordi in goal for the Bucks. Punches the first one away. Got rifled right at him.
The Bucks are fortunate that Barrow wasn't able to do anything with that rebound. I'm not sure if he was offside or not. I was looking at the assistant referee, and he did not have a flag up there. So if Barrow would have gotten control of that, he'd have been able to put one in the back of the net there.
It was just him and the keeper had an opportunity. Those are the ones you look back on and think, oh, if I would have just kept that a little bit, but have to keep that. Having some volume issues on the
corner kick here. Let's see.
Corner, right footer in, going to hit the first man for the Bucks. Nice low driven ball, punched away by the line.
That's a couple of times there.
Yeah, that ball found its way through. Good job by Fernandez, I believe that was the first man to get onto it, drop his head well below his knees to try and punch that away. Once you commit to punching it away with your head, you're kind of stuck.
But that's twice D'Souza has really nailed some first-time shots from midfield. So I'm thinking that someone's going to want to shut that down a little bit, because that was very well struck first time. D'Souza, number 13.
A couple of driven balls as well. Sordi with nothing to do on that, but he very nearly did.
Yep.
Here's Tampa again. Trying to push forward here. Fernandez
nicely
pushing
done.
The ball back, forcing Tampa back into defense.
Barrow looking at the referee, wondering where his foul was there. A few Bucks paid him a wee bit of attention there. Look at this.
Had their arms wrapped around each other. That was an interesting shot. Hopefully you're able to see that on camera. That was a good shot.
Look out, D'Souza.
He's been trouble there for the back line.
Yep.
I don't think that's the last time we'll see him shoot. He's been able to find his way around and hasn't got a clean shot on that one, but he very nearly got around.
Yeah. Ball was deflected a little bit, and it came in behind him. But he was able to get an attempt at a shot. And he's coming back. He's withdrawing to that space right in front of the defender. So that's where Kosmal is going to need to be. And he's going to need to prevent that ball coming in. But, that's if he gets pulled out of the middle, that leaves the Bucks really exposed. And that's what was been happening to Lustig a lot this season in that spot. He was being pulled out, dragged out of the middle there. So Kosmal has got to be careful to keep an eye right there.
Fortunate for Kosmala that D'Souza mishandled it a little bit there because he was in position on Kosmala, just as you were saying, Doctor. Had him beat going down towards Barry's goal. There's Amaya. Makes a turn. Good turn by Amaya.
But not a great pass from there. He was trying to find Fura, but...
Push it probably too far up the field. Had a couple of Barry players who had options open, waiting for the ball. There's Fernandez ending that push down the right side.
The Spartans have picked up their play a little bit. Bucks are not dominating the midfield as much as they were the first 10 minutes or so of this half.
It's ball in. There's Fisher. Fisher's ball picked off by D'Souza. D'Souza causing troubles for that back line on the Bucks.
Yeah.
Here's Yepes.
Fisher, the ball was a little bit under his feet. He's trying to find Urquidy.
And Barry just trying to chip it up and over or driven through the midfield up to their forwards here. Here's another ball.
But you can see this is better now, but the Bucks were having a little bit of trouble finding their targets.
There's another bit of trouble there. Tried to go through left back. Stopped any chance of a through ball there for Urquidy to try and run around. And here's a ball down the right wing. Fisher there, take care of it. D'Souza finds himself in pretty good position so far in this match. He's been positioning himself well to be involved in most everything that's happening in the attacking third for Tampa.
Yes. We're gonna call that name a lot this evening, I think.
It's shaping up to be that way so far. We'll see which names we call on the Buck side. Here's Aguirre. Takes a shot. That was ambitious to say the least, and he scooped it. He wants it back.
He had a 3-on-3 there because Fura and Urquidy were making runs. And he got his head up a little bit quickly, and that's where the ball went. Up and over.
Up and over. Wanted to try and challenge the keeper.
Which is not bad. The keeper is off his line a bit, but
you do have to put it on frame.
Oh, is that how it works? Yes, inside that little white rectangle there.
That's how you put the ones on the board, and that's what Barry's trying to do here. Those keys to the game.
Should just put a picture of the goal right there.
Just back of the net.
This is it. Oh, what a good ball.
Great ball. Ref keeps his flag down. This one in, whipped in. There's Urquidy. Just wide. Urquidy with a great chance for the Bucks.
That is like the personification of the Bucks season right there. In the form of Urquidy with an open goal, right foot, and shanks it wide.
Just shanked wide. Really good through ball.
Oh, beautiful ball from Kosmala to find Yepes. But that's, I guess, positive from that is finding that and getting that chance. Now the Bucks need to bury it.
Urquidy, he'll want that one back. Nobody picking up the run on Aguirre's ball. Out for a goal kick. But, that was a really, really good opportunity for the Bucks.
That was a very nice ball that Yepes was able to get across to Urquidy.
Those are the ones that you're not going to be wanting to watch in the film room.
I know, but it's funny. The more times you don't make those, the more pressure and you get, and the harder it is to make those. So, it's kind of like trying to let off steam or break it. Somebody on the Bucks has got to break through, and you want to feel like if they do break through, that then starts the momentum the other way for the game and for the season.
Just have to get that first one on the board. Break the ice, and the rest will follow. Good hard tackle defensively for Tampa.
Yep. But I really like the way the Bucks are finding the outlet out of the back quickly. And, they've been struggling with that a little bit. And that the outlet is simple, and they're breaking the pressure immediately and then being able to go forward.
Nearing the midway point here through the first half. 26 minutes remain, 26 and a half.
Great first touch.
Here's Urquidy. Urquidy going up, trying to bust through that back line, and
oh boy,
got it stuck on his feet there.
Oh boy, Bucks are fortunate there because D'Souza was on his way.
Yep, he was. He had some space. That ball a little too heavy from Tampa. Here's Aguirre down the left wing. That flag is up. Aguirre was off. It'll go Tampa's way. Each team with 4 shots on the board. Sordi having to make a save. Came straight at him, and fortunate not to have the rebound come back at him. Barry started off this half early with a couple of corners and haven't troubled Jake Richards in goal for Tampa too much to this point.
As we spoke, they need to put the ball on the goal to cause him some issues. That's a really nice ball. See if Gonzalez.
And here's D'Souza, top of the area.
Nicely played from Amaya. Did well, get his shoulder in.
Didn't commit the foul in the area and stayed strong. Didn't chip at it.
Yep. That was really nicely done defensively, because every time D'Souza gets the ball around the penalty area, we're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, he is a danger to that Barry defense. Here's Kosmala.
He's taken the most shots for the Spartans this season, but he doesn't have the most goals. That's Downing, but he's up there.
Well, we can see why he takes the most shots. He's, to this point,
He's all over, yep.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Defensively.
And what a fun spot to play. You know what I mean? You have that ability to really move around and find the open space and slide into it.
Francis finding Urquidy.
It's a really good touch from Urquidy there.
Well done. Aguirre lets his players go through. Tries to sneak that through the back line. They are all over it.
Too late. That was it got too obvious there for a bit.
Right idea, just not executed fast enough. Here's an opportunity. All kinds of space for Tampa. Cleared away by Urquidy coming back Lustig. And
yep, Barrow probably should have taken his chance the first touch there. The cutback was not there. And as you said, good job from Lustig and others tracking back.
Close that down, but Tampa had space in a couple of dangerous spots out there on the right side, just outside the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Spartans did well to move the ball through the midfield quickly, not allowing the Bucks to get back and delay. That was Sugden for Spartans with the corner.
Bucks defense heads it away. Tampa with a couple of targets out there. Number 2, Ramsey Torre, 6'4", junior. Ball out for a goal kick. Tampa, another team with some height in their fullbacks.
Yes.
Good move. Here's Fura.
Oh, that's a lot to ask of Aguirre. Yepes.
It worked out for Yepes. Barry will get the throw, but he had to turn on the boosters just to get there.
So nothing like a 30-yard sprint.
John Bentham back on defense.
And a collision there.
Going up against Yepes on that one. Puts it out safely for Tampa. It's Lustig. He'll find space wide left. Fernandez going to have a go. He rips one. Keeper has to punch it away. Not handled cleanly. There's one on goal. That one's on frame. But Barry's up on the board for Tampa making a save.
Why not? The ball was moving pretty well.
Yeah, the keeper not able to handle that cleanly, and those are the times where you get the rebounds. A little craziness happens, and again,
they're dancing out here. We're just put some music to it here.
Fernandez and Monty Barrow on Tampa.
Yeah.
They've had their arms around each other all evening so far.
Fernandez, again, he's done this several times. He's illegal throws. It makes me feel like nobody calls that anymore against him, and so he's been able to sort of do that, but he's lifted his foot up about 3 or 4 times this season that I've noticed, and
he's been called. This is at least the second time.
At least, yeah. So you've got to keep both feet down until the ball leaves your hands.
I hate to give away an easy possession like that.
Yes, but you know what's funny? I used to argue a lot about throw-ins and which way they went until I started looking at who ultimately got possession. And it's actually more times than not that the defensive team wins the ball off of a throw-in. So I kind of stopped arguing with those after a while.
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
The stats are in your favor. You
Yep.
might as well take them.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose where it goes, but you do get the, the benefit of it.
It is kind of funny, especially in the midfield when people are challenging it. It often ends up going to the other team anyway. So
hard tackles. A couple of Bucks run into each other. That's Aguirre and Kosmala.
and see, Kosmala's out of the midfield again.
Out of position here, but here he comes for the counter, and this is Lustig pushing forward again, trying to find Urquidy, and ball just not clean. That final pass, trying to break through that defensive line of Tampa, hasn't been clean yet.
No.
Gonna need to.
It was underneath him a little bit, and I don't know if Urquidy could have done him a little bit of a help to stop and maybe come to him a bit because he was under pressure, but that's just unfortunately a symptom of what's been happening to the Bucks. They're just that last pass. More dancing, and this time looks like Bentham got the foul against him.
The Bucks standing over the ball, near midfield. We have 19 minutes and some change left in the first half. Neither team on the board, still 0-0. Both keepers having to make a save. Been a bit of back and forth. Barry started out definitely on the front foot. First 10 minutes of this one. Tampa came back and troubled the keeper. Here's Fernandez looking for options.
I see somebody coming in the middle to help.
Yeah, Fernandez sat in the middle there for a little bit, just looking for somebody to make a move, and ended up having to turn around and go back with it.
But I like the switch.
There's a long switch for Aguirre. Aguirre pushes into the area. He's just on the outside, tries to make a move, gets shoved, and the ref will say that is out for a goal kick. Aguirre looking to draw the foul.
Interesting. He had a bit of an argument there, because honestly, Downing didn't look like he was playing the ball at all. I have a feeling the ref might have called it if it wasn't in the penalty box.
Area,
you know what I mean?
I'd have to agree with you, Doctor. If this one was out here outside the box, it might have edged in favor of being a shove, but in the penalty box,
and it's not
doesn't get the
supposed
call.
to be the determining factor of whether something is a foul or not, but it often is, unfortunately.
There's Fisher giving chase. That'll shepherd that out.
That was Woldsund making that run.
Here's Amaya.
Wilson came in for Barrow.
Oh boy, Amaya's pass picked off in the middle. This is dangerous. Sorty having to come up off his line and grab that ball away. Unfortunate pass by Amaya. He's going to hear it from his teammates here for a second.
Yeah.
That one picked off in a dangerous area.
Yeah, he did not expect Wilson to be there, and that might be a symptom of both teams having the same colors, red and black, and he might have seen the red shorts or something and made him feel like that was his teammate.
Oh, great little ball.
See if Lustig can get there.
Lustig, Urquidy going for it. Blocked, well defended by Tampa, but an opportunity for Barry.
Urquidy again with a chance to bury it. Fura trying to win the ball there, commits the foul.
Nice little chip pass to push that ball forward.
Really nice, yeah.
Lustig getting on the end and leaving it off for Keedy.
This is a little bit like what happened to the Bucks in their last match against Nova, where they ended up losing 1-0. They had a lot of chances on the goal. They just were not burying them. I think one might break it open, you know.
Open the floodgates.
I think it just might.
Let the rest come in. Here's Tampa, and Barry's attacking third to Souza. Gives away the ball. He got stepped on. He's holding his ankle. Ref's not having it.
Nope. Maya's telling him, get up.
Ball's moving forward. There's a nice switch. Aguirre.
Let's see if he can do it. Oh.
Looked like it was a little bit closer to Aguirre. In the end, didn't trouble Tampa's back line at all. Right idea, I think, from our vantage point. Switch that to Aguirre. Had all kinds of space out on the left for Barry. Here's a ball. Flag is up. That'll be offside. Well, Buck fans, Barry U Athletics is home to 230 student athletes and 18 NCAA national championships. Make a championship investment today by joining the Buck Club. With an annual gift of $50 or more, you can help recruit the best and brightest student athletes, support scholarship, and fund key projects. Together, we can achieve greatness. Join the Buck Club today by visiting our website at buckclub.barry.edu. Be a champion for our champions. There's Fisher. Looks like we're going to have a sub here. We'll see if they do that, right now. Urquidy's going to walk off the left side of the field here and make the long way around as Nunez comes in for him. Urquidy changed his mind.
Yeah.
It's going to make him go back the other way.
Nunez a little bit speedier. Hopefully, perhaps he has a little magic in the feet to break through and score.
Keedy holding his right quad just a little bit as he walked off. Not sure if this is a tactical decision or one for Keedy's health. Either way, Nunez finds his way into the match. We'll see if, like you say, Doctor, he can be the key to getting Barry on the boards. Here's D'Souza. D'Souza going one-on-one against Fisher. Fisher takes it away. That's a great step by Fisher.
Have an opportunity.
Out to Aguirre. Aguirre back to Fura.
Want him to get the ball to the end line.
Here's Kosmala.
He might try one.
Yep, Kosmala taking a rib. Keeper bats it away. Aguirre on the outside. Sends it back to the top. Here's Nunez.
Nunez trying to find some space.
Good swinging kick by Kosmala.
Gave a hospital ball to Kosmala. And now
good step by Amaya.
Makes Amaya step up.
Find his way in front of Romario Grant. Try and shepherd that one outside. Outside the lines there. Well, Barry shots coming from well outside the area so far to this point. There was one shot that wasn't on frame by Urquidy. Really one he'll want back that found its way wide of goal. But for the most part, keeper having to punch away a couple of driven shots from probably about 25 yards out.
And I think one coaching point I would make is to follow up on these shots, because this keeper has not held any of these shots from outside. And that time, you saw Aguirre kind of waiting, but if he's following that up, he's got a better opportunity. That's a little bit offside. So I think one thing we're going to perhaps talk about. Kosmala's got to be careful about going in backwards on tackles. Can't go in with your back to a player because you're just asking for a foul and a knee injury. So
not something either team wants to see.
And I have a feeling it's because he doesn't want to really use the left leg there. He's got a knee wrap there.
Good ball, sneaks its way through. Here's Nunez. just gets tapped away, and Nunez commits the foul. And a couple of times, Barry has moved the ball forward, and the midfielders seem a little hesitant to push all the way forward. Kind of keeps that front line a little removed from Tampa's goal.
Well, I just would love to see the Bucks go end line. They're stopping about the 18-yard box and going back, across the top. And I would just love to see the Bucks get farther into the end line. Barrow might take a chance here. Nope.
Shot taken away by Kosmala. There's 19, Bentham.
Now, see, that is what the Bucks had not been doing of late. Kosmala's pass was not a good one to distribute after just winning possession. And the Bucks have been better this match with finding open players and relieving that pressure. But we'll see. Hopefully that's an anomaly here.
Gonzalez to Nunez. Nunez dances with it in the midfield. Back out to Gonzalez, or into Gonzalez. Bucks again still hanging back. Just a couple of options up here. Here's Aguirre with lots of space.
So go to the end line.
Pushes it back centrally. And here's Nunez at the top of the box. Kosmala waiting on it. It looked like he wanted to take a rip on it and wanted all day to do it.
Well, he wanted right foot. He didn't want left foot. And
got to take the opportunities where they come. Kosmala doesn't take a swing at it, and Tampa takes advantage. They're back in Barry's half.
He does play with the knee brace on the left side, and it's possible that's bugging him a bit. But like you said, you don't often get to choose what foot to take. Watch out.
To Souza, Kosmala giving him space. He finds a ball through. Flag stays down.
Fisher.
Fiora tries to chip it up to Yepes and
he did
do a
well.
little 1-2.
Yeah.
Fiora's ball was a good ball. Yepes
not as good.
Not as clean back to Fiora. I think Yepes expecting Fiora to do a little bit more running than Fiora was ready to do there.
Now D'Souza's coming out.
We'll find out if that's a good thing for the Bucks defense or not. They may replace him with someone just as dangerous. But he's been a hassle for that back line for Barry.
Yes.
He'll get a 10-minute rest here before half. 8.5 minutes remaining here in half number one. Barry trying to come up with a win here in conference play. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication. Fiora left it off, and Lustig had to go get it.
Well, see,
just didn't look clean.
And that's just not a good decision from Lustig. He had 1-on-3, tried to dribble. Spin around, keep possession.
Barry so far seeming content to, as we say, not push down the line, not push into their 6-yard box or 6-yard area, and just hang back and rip shots from far away. So far, there's another shot. This one on goal. Not too driven.
But you saw both Lustig and Kosmala got pulled out of the middle there, and that's why that area was open there, and that's where Amaya and Fisher are trying to talk to their midfielders. One of them's got to be back in that spot. Otherwise, the Bucks are really vulnerable with playing kind of this 3 in the back look.
Lustig finding his way around the pitch. He's found himself in an attacking midfield position earlier on in this half. It looks like he's moved back defensively. Kosmala maybe trading places. Not sure if that's just by natural. Lustig naturally migrates back that way, and he sees a problem, or if that's a coach's decision there. But definitely started out further up the pitch.
Yeah, it also might be he's a little tired.
Could be.
And I'll cover you back here. Go ahead. But, which is how it's supposed to work. They need to communicate with each other and notice. But we can't have both of them going forward.
A little bit of a collision. Here's a ball into Nunez. Nunez can't climb up and over and get that. Lustig going to get the whistle
and a card.
Nope. Clock has stopped, and you only do that to pull the card out or for an injury.
Just a bit late there.
Yeah. Had they both gone up to challenge a ball, it may be a different story, but Lustig came in late and
Yellow card assessed against Barry, number 6.
wanted his presence to be known.
Yes.
38-23.
Worth a shot, though, actually, I think, to try and win the ball there. Risk reward. Now, of course, he's got to be on his P's and Q's here, not to get the second yellow, but
Especially if he's going to push back and hang back as a
agreed.
defensive midfielder.
Yes. And his play is to play physical, so might change his play somewhat.
See how that affects the game. Lustig picking up a yellow card here. 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the half. Still scoreless. But we've seen shots from both teams and a couple of dangerous opportunities that could have been worse on either side of the scoreboard. And here's all kinds of space. Number 10, Shorty will let that one roll out, but
Couldn't get their corner kick.
now Lewis Sugden, he had some space up top and some time, decided to sit back and try and find the corner.
He's
the corner of the goal. He ends up finding a corner.
Yep, he's going to saunter over there to get the corner kick.
Content to take some time off of this clock and go into half. These are the final minutes of the half, where that training and exhaustion start to come into play. There's a header back in, dangerous ball in.
Nobody challenged that first one.
Bay Downing, or pardon me, that's looks like, yeah, Bay Downing here on the playing defense, listed as a forward on the schedule. He's one of the many forwards that's playing defense.
I know, it's funny. Let's see how many are listed as forward here. Yeah.
Got a number of them. We called them out.
7, 8, 9.
Nine
forwards
Nine
listed.
forwards and a keeper, that's all you need.
There it is.
As long as you got guys that can put it in the back of the net. And one to stop the other team from
There
doing
you
that.
go.
Gonzalez up to Fura. Fura holding well.
Nice.
Kosmala going to try and find Aguirre. Aguirre looked like he was going to go to the end line for the first time,
did.
but stopped by
He needed a better
Barrow.
first touch. Yeah.
Ball took a bounce just before he got to Aguirre.
Yep.
Ball up and over down the left side. Amaya tries to clear, skips off his foot. He's going to have work to do here inside his own area. Gonzalez working against Hetherington. Aguirre moved the ball back into midfield. Gives himself some space out left.
That's just a terrible ball.
And there's
it's
a step by
hospital
Grant.
ball
Yep.
from Kosmala. And he's fortunate to get the ball back, but Fernandez paid for that.
He's still down on the ground. Here's Nunez with a great first touch,
Beautiful.
picking that out of the air. Excellent touch by Nunez. Tries to get that cross in, stopped by the defender. And Nunez has the ball taken away, but what an amazing first touch.
That was really beautiful. Sort of a yin and yang there of bad touch, good touch.
As long as the bad ones are followed up. Oh, here's a little 1-2. Looked like it was going to cause troubles for Barry. It ended up just fine as Fisher comes in to make that save and take it away. But
Fisher has a way of being a magnet to where the ball's going to go. He's just always in excellent position there.
here's Aguirre. They're giving him the space down the left. He's not going to push it.
Tried to find Fura over the top. Oh, another foul. Not called.
That's John Bentham defensively for Tampa. Ball won by Gonzalez. Trying to push down that right sideline. Maybe they'll switch their minds here and move the ball left. Continue to go right. Here's a chase, and just too much.
Yeah.
Too much for Yepes.
All right. Looks like Doyle. No.
In the game for the Buccaneers, number 6, Joao Casalado.
Brown & Brown Insurance, one of the top sales organizations in the world, is searching for disciplined and driven individuals to join the team. Results are rewarded and vertical growth exists in fulfillment and compensation. Visit www.bbinsurance.com to see the many positions available. Brown & Brown Insurance.
Yeah, so Fernandez is limping a bit. He got stepped on or whacked a little bit.
He took the brunt of that one.
So
bad
Castellanos
pass.
on. João Castellanos on here, outside left back.
Here's Aguirre. Teammates urging him forward. He's beat the defender here down the left wing. Sends the ball back into the box. Just a little bit behind Fira there.
Yeah.
But it looks better, Doctor. There's still life down that wing. Aguirre hasn't taken advantage
I want him
yet.
to do it. You know, he's got the speed, especially with, you know, he'd have forward tracking back on him. I think that was Wilson tracking back.
And there's way too much space given by the Bucks. Shot block. Looked like it was Fisher as well on that block. Like you say, Doctor, he finds his way.
He does. I mean, he just is in the right spot at the right time. He just reads the play so well. He's bailed the Bucks out I don't know how many times.
Well, Nunez not with many options. Nobody pushing forward with him. Tried to hold on to the ball and
tried to. It's the right
idea.
Attempt, yeah.
No teammates there to back him up, as it looks like everyone's content to let this one run into half.
Look out.
Everyone but Tampa, that is. Here's a shot. It's whiffed up and over. That'll do it for the first half. Tampa, Spartans 0, Barry Buccaneers 0. Multiple shots for each team, neither team ending up on the board. We'll take a break here for halftime. Join us when we return for second half action in Sunshine State Conference play between the Tampa Spartans and the Barry Buccaneers. Stick around.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
We are NCAA Division II student athletes, faculty members, and athletics administrators made up of 24 conferences and 300 institutions.
Over 110,000 Division II student athletes.
Together we stand and take the pledge to be more than a bystander, to get a friend home safe.
It's our responsibility to step in, stand up, to do something, to say anything, to hold our friends accountable, to stop sexual assault in any way we can.
It's on me. It's on you. It's on us.
So let's be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem.
Anyone can be the victim. Everyone can be the solution. It's on us to stand up and not stand by.
Because when you're a victim of sexual assault, no one should stand alone.
Here are a few tips that can help. Talk to your friends honestly and openly about sexual assault.
Don't be a bystander. If you see something, intervene in any way you can.
Be direct. Ask someone who looks like they may need help if they're okay.
Take the pledge at itsonus.org and be a part of the solution.
We took the pledge and decided to stand up against sexual assault. Now it's your turn to do the same.
We are challenging every Division II campus to take the pledge, to make a statement, and to make sexual assault unacceptable, because
It's on us!
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
At Barry University, students enjoy a vibrant campus life surrounded by traditions both new and old.
From the first day on campus, students will find plenty to do. From the Glow Party and Founders Week in the fall to Homecoming and Festival of Nations in the spring. Tradition is all around at Barry. Students, faculty, staff, and alumni gather throughout the year to connect Barry's past with its present to create a meaningful future.
Or not being allowed to text. But now it's your turn to make a choice. Perhaps one of the we know that. Founded in Miami in 1940 by the Adrian Dominican sisters, Barry's growth into one of the largest Catholic universities in the Southeast has been shaped by our core values. Barry's liberal arts focus and small class sizes enables us to emphasize the Catholic intellectual tradition, integration of learning, reflection, and action. It's what we call living a Barry life. And when you choose to live a Barry life, it's a full schedule. With over 100 bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs, there's lots of core classes and studying. But there's also new friends from all over the world, new cultures, and new reasons to cheer, like rooting for Barry's NCAA championship teams and players. And let's not forget the Miami weather. You'll read under the palms on our 122-acre campus. Grab a bite with some friends. Volunteer to clean up the waterfront. Intern at a multinational company. Field moms and dads' texts and calls. And that's just part of it. And don't forget, it's Miami, the 305. Hang out in South Beach with friends. Go shopping, paddleboarding, snorkeling on a reef, and relax in the sun. Remember, you're not just going to a university. You're going a lot farther in life. So choose Barry University and live a Barry life.
Do you want more recognition for your team?
Who should I ask if I have any problems? How can I share my ideas?
How can you get involved and make it yours? Joining Student Athlete Advisory Committee allows your voice to be heard.
The mission of SAC is to enhance the total student athlete experience by promoting opportunity, protecting welfare, and fostering a positive image. Who is SAC?
SAC members.
Welcome back to Miami Shores for the second half of Barry University versus Tampa. This is conference play here in Sunshine State Conference. Barry looking to get a win in the win column here. Currently sitting 0-3-1 in the conference.
Now, this is very interesting.
We've had a couple of switches here.
Okay.
Looks like Yepes is going to go
He's
left
gonna be
side.
On the left.
And Jarrell Cato is going to be out here on the right. So we'll have that little switch. We've had another one. Ospina's in for Fura, sitting Up top, that's Ospino right there.
And Doyle, did you already say? Doyle is in for Kosmala. So it looks like Lustig may come in and play a little more of that defensive midfielder where he's been playing. Doyle will be a little bit more of the speedster, or actually Doyle looks like he's keeping an eye on D'Souza, so we'll see how that works out.
Well, D'Souza needs an eye on him at all times. He was dangerous in the first half. Went out for a 10-minute break to rest his legs a little extra, get ready for the second half. The Bucks are going to have to deal with him and the trouble he presents. Here's Lustig. Lustig sitting on a yellow card as well, picked one up with about 17 minutes remaining. Now here's Nunez. It's Nunez with the ball. Cato going to run. Nunez holds it back.
That's Castellano.
Castellano came in for
and that's
Fernandez. Arenas with a shot right into the keeper's waiting arms.
So a lot of new players for the Bucks.
Lots of switches. There's 18 Arenas. Defensively, that back line still looks the same as it did in the half. Same back four. We just had some basically switch everywhere else.
Yes. We'll see if
Nunez and Lustig are the only holdovers for the first half.
We'll see if Fernandez can come back. He went out, got a little whack to his foot, and we're not sure if he'll be back. That is what brought Castellano in.
Looks like we still have Sordi in goal as well. Sordi going to have to come off his line here. Clear that away. The Buccaneers started the first half on the front foot, controlling the game. Tampa found their way back into it after about 8 minutes, and they took control for a good long while. D'Souza causing troubles, pushing up the middle and making turns on the Barry defenders who were out of place at times. And here's a ball left side for Tampa. It's number 4, Victor Strand. Back in, it'll go back out to Strand. Strand's going to keep the ball on this side. A couple of 1-2s, and here's D'Souza, the man we spoke at, punched away by Sordi. Good punch by Sordi.
Has a major shot. That was knuckling. Sordi did very well to stay on that ball. But you can't let D'Souza line it up. He had all the time in the world there. So that's, again, somebody in that midfield has got to really pressure that.
Yep, there's 10 other guys, but D'Souza is one that they need to key on for sure. Well, they're going to have troubles here, and Sordi's going to have to make a few more saves like that.
There's a miscommunication there between Lustig and Gonzalez.
If you stepped away to grab a bite during halftime, you may have missed. It did start raining here quite heavily during the half. It looks like it's stopped.
Just, cool everybody down a little bit. Make it nice and humid for us.
Papers are all
nice and curly and wet.
Curly and wet. Yeah, but
I'm trying to think. I don't think we've had a home game here where it hasn't rained. So, that's a nice little.
Not one that I've been a part of. It's rained. It's been a continual feature throughout these games.
It's a good challenge from Lustig there in midfield.
There's Arenas finding his way through the defender. Arenas with the ball on the outside of the area. Ball in to Cato. Cato shot. Just blocked. Cato with a good shot. Keeper has to go up and make the save.
Oh, the Bucks cannot buy a goal. That was a fantastic cross from Arenas right onto Cato's feet, and that was a really good save from Richard.
It was. He had to make the save. Cato tried to put it up and over, trouble the keeper a little bit instead of just going right at him, and Jake Richards able to come up with the save for Tampa, keep Barry off the boards. Cato throws it as high as he can. Take those extra half seconds off the clock. Here's D'Souza. Makes the turn as Lustig takes a step on him.
Doyle was able to foil that attempt.
Doyle with the foil.
Doyle with the foil. Oh, nicely done from Nunez.
Nunez looked like he was going to be late on that tackle. Ended up perfect. As Arenas trying to get the ball in. Batted away, and Castellato, pardon. Hits that one out. Tampa with the throw. A lot of back and forth in this game so far, Doctor. Neither team has really been the dominant team for more than a few minutes, more than a few possessions. Hopefully it can end in a goal for on the Berry side. If they're going to get a win today, they're going to need to...
Obviously, yes. Score.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the key to the game we talked about earlier. There's Cato making the step, taking that one away. Cato going long ball to Nunez. Nunez not able to gather that in and kicking his foot up a little too high for the referee's liking.
But the Bucks just have had... Now I count, 3 chances with just the keeper to beat and haven't been able to do it. And
that final touch just needs to be a little bit better. Not terrible chances and not terrible touches. It just needs to be better to beat the keeper.
Yep.
Souza.
Ball almost found Souza coming across.
Looks like going to have to chase and kick that one up.
Oh.
Fortunate for Cato as it goes through Victor Strand's legs there.
I don't know if that's worth Lustig getting to or not. You know what I mean? So he had to really work to get that.
Well, and it would have been big trouble if Strand would have been able to get in behind. Ended up okay for the Bucks. Here's Tampa taken away by Doyle. Fisher, key feature in many of the defensive saves we've mentioned to this point in this game and others. He's been a real stalwart in the final third, and there is the flag. That'll be offside.
It was close. But he one step, I think.
Just one step front. Flag goes up. Good searching ball by Cato. Trying to find Nunez, who looks like this is the second time here he's tried to make a run back behind those defenders. That may be part of the game plan that they came up with.
Stretch them out a little bit. Yeah, stretch the defense out.
It's a good step.
Yeah, that was nice. It was Castellato.
Castellato.
He and Fisher communicated well there.
Yeah, Castellato came in for Fernandez. Haven't seen Fernandez back up running yet. We'll see if he is out for the rest of the match for an injury or if he'll be seeing some time again. But
back.
I hope that these Berry players can stay healthy as well as the Tampa players. Don't want to see any injuries.
It was a dangerous ball that Arenas made. Now Gonzalez can get forward.
Doyle looking to switch. Good switch. Lots of time for Arenas. Takes the ball off his chest. Gives a little 1-2 step. Tried to push line. That one batted out.
That's okay, though. He can't wait too long because they're looking to double team him there, but I like it, of course. I've been calling for somebody to go end line there.
Push end line and whip a ball in and create some chaos.
There. Yep.
You mentioned earlier, keeper's been punching away most everything that comes at him, so it may present some opportunities for rebounds. And there's a ball coming in top of the box. Doyle sizes it up, takes a rip.
Those are so, I don't know, that's like a high fastball in baseball. It's just really hard to lay off those balls as a midfielder that just comes floating back to you. But they are so hard to get those on goal. You know, you're almost better just taking the ball back down and maintaining possession, but it's just so tempting to just take a whack at it. And
the
it's
payoff.
probably 1 out of 100, maybe.
The payoff is huge. It feels when you have a high kick like that, you can put some mustard on it and send that one on frame. It just
visions of goals of the year or something, right?
Exactly.
You know,
it looks so
Center
beautiful.
top 10, but usually they end up like that, which is this poofy something. It either goes 30 yards over or shanks off your foot out of bounds. But it's just so tempting.
It's tantalizing to sit up like that.
Very.
Very much so. Here's John Bentham on the throw for Tampa. Bentham stopping a lot of runs down the right side for Barry.
Yes.
Barry's right side.
He's done well since he's come in. Game has slowed down here. Second half.
Go out for a goal kick. Amaya's telling the forward to get up, giving him a shrug of the shoulders.
Yep.
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Doing my job back here. Seeing that one out.
It's a good battle. That's Barrow again.
Barrow.
He's been introducing himself to all of the defenders for the Bucks.
It's Gonzalez. Gonzalez sees Cato. Cato let it off.
Too bad.
Looked like he just missed the touch. Wasn't trying to let that off.
No, I think he was looking where he wanted to go with the ball.
Maya, clean touch off his chest.
It's really nice. Been impressed with the Bucks defenders.
Well, they've had a lot of work to do. They've done a pretty good job so far, leaving a couple of opportunities for D'Souza with space here and there, but for the most part, I'd have to say you're right, Doctor. They've been impressive, able to stop the runs, stop the. Here's a chance here. This one's going to get called for a foul.
He might get a. He's lucky if he doesn't get another yellow because he grabbed jersey on that. He's lucky.
Yep. Could have been really unfortunate for the Bucks. As it is, the ball's on just outside the 18-yard
I have a
area.
feeling D'Souza might just rip this one. What do you think?
I'd have to say you're probably right. He's looking at goal right now. He's
right foot.
He's going to look to curl that one far post, I'd say.
Just go far post. If you miss it by a little, you might have another run like that. Ooh.
Couple of runners from Tampa nearly got on the end of that one and spoiled it.
Well done from Sorty to keep his eye on the ball. Surprised me that he kept it low. I thought he might bend it high.
A couple of Tampa players nearly getting on the end of that one as it crossed in front of Sorty. Gonzalez.
Now Strand is forcing him back.
Looking for help. Amaya finds it.
Well done to break pressure.
All kinds of space for Ospina.
See if he can find Arena.
Touch let him off a little bit there. Arenas had some space wide left.
Well, they were shutting it down. The both runs going forward at the same pace. If Nunez comes to the ball, then the defender has to make a decision, right? So both Nunez and Arenas going forward keeps that defender in that position, and easy, right? So if Nunez comes to, defender stays, play Nunez. If defender,
chases Nunez, then you go over the top. So it's actually Nunez who's got to make that run to open up the space for Arenas to get in behind. It's Gonzalez whipping a ball in.
Tried to find Fisher there. Well cleared.
Fisher came across just a half step too late. Here's Cato. Cato back out to Gonzalez here. Here's Gonzalez, finds the first man. And here's D'Souza on the counter. He's 2v3. Pushes out wide. D'Souza back with the ball. Great step by D'Souza. Good ball in. This one comes off a Barry defender. That'll go out for a corner.
Doyle did well to track all the way back there. Or was that Castellato? No, Doyle did well to track that back. It was a really nice break from the Spartans there.
Some fancy footwork there by D'Souza. Some really good-looking touches. And again, excellent defense by the Buccaneers. Here's the corner attempt. Headed away. Arenas on the chase. Tries to send that one forward for Nunez. Nunez offside.
He was 5 yards offside.
Yep.
He was 5 yards offside, guys.
Nunez can't believe it, but it was right here in front of us. We might as well have been the end line here. So
he was 5 yards offside, at least.
Here's D'Souza. Plenty of space out for Bentham. Gonzalez sliding in. Poor attempt by Gonzalez. Gave all sorts of space for number 4, Victor Strand.
Look out.
Oh, sneaky ball, trying to sneak back through and find Monty Barrow. Sordi having to come off his line. Here's Bentham. Sneaks it through Doyle's legs. Opportunity. Well done by Fisher to take that away.
Yep.
Francis.
Really.
No, Fisher. Sorry.
Fisher, yeah. Really concentrated on the ball there. Made good contact.
Here's Salokat, D'Souza. Tampa will reset. Switch the field of play. Keep it centrally. A nice hard-driven ball. Woo! That ball had some mustard on it. Ramsey Torre wide of goal, but Sordi making the dive to make sure it didn't find the inside.
The Bucks look tired. You know?
There's a pass right there.
They're making some errors. I think it has a little bit to do. Watch this. Oh.
Looking a little dangerous, playing it a little loose out there right now, Doctor.
I think in a couple of minutes you're going to see starters come back in. That's a nice ball. Oh. But Arenas is tired. And Doyle tried to lead him and
didn't get chase to that one.
Well,
Arenas kind of left it off.
He was tired because he was all the way back on defense. So
here's a long ball up and over Amaya. Flag stays down. Amaya winning that ball initially. D'Souza on it now. There's Amaya putting in another great defensive effort for the Bucks.
Somebody needs to come to him.
It's going to go long ball to Nunez, who jumps over Torre.
Oh! Yeah.
And we're going to have a foul going against Tampa. That'll be a Buccaneer set piece coming up down the right side as Nunez wins that ball. Here's Doyle standing over the ball.
It's a review on the touchdown.
Going to have a conference over here between Doyle and Gonzalez. Yeah. Gonzalez ends up winning the conference.
Yeah, Gonzalez serves a very nice ball there. Right foot.
There's Gonzalez. 2 men on the wall for Tampa. Stepping over it. Up and over the wall, into the box, cleared away.
Not sure what Ospina was doing there. It looked like he was just watching.
Didn't take a step toward it.
Okay, now you've got to step up.
There's Amaya coming up big again. Amaya and Fisher. Fisher, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I keep mixing those two names up.
But they've been playing very, very well. Watch out, Arenas can get around the corner.
There's Arenas. Nice ball chipped in. Here's at the top of the box. Doyle. First touch let him down just a bit. Couldn't keep it down on the ground. Ball goes out. It'll be a Berry throw. Too many balls on the field.
All right. I think we're going to start. Yep. I think we're going to start seeing the subs come back in.
Yep. Shirt's coming off on the bench.
Yep. I wonder if he'll come in for Lustig. Lustig is just sort of this warrior. He's been playing almost every minute of every game.
Been a key defensively and big part of a couple of the offensive opportunities as well here for Berry. There's D'Souza. Cato winning that. Lustig called for the foul.
Yep.
Just clipped the back heel a little bit of D'Souza.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
When we stopped the clock, it looked like it may have been for a sub, but it was actually to have a word with Lustig.
Yeah.
Referee says no more. No more.
I have a feeling he said something to the referee there.
Yep, that is what the body language would indicate, as D'Souza was pointing at Lustig when something happened there.
I'm celebrating because UM just beat Florida State for the first time in the last, 8 games?
8 games, yeah. I believe this is number 8. No, neither team has won more than 7 in a row.
That's a beautiful ball.
D'Souza gets on the end of that. What a cross. What a cross. Sordi.
A gorgeous ball. And
Sordi finds himself in the right place at the right time.
D'Souza has the Berry Buccaneers disease of putting it right to the keeper. Oh, nice job.
Spina nearly busting through.
Things are opening up a little here.
When you talk about opportunities, Doctor, that was an opportunity.
That was amazing.
A beautiful ball. D'Souza finds his head on the end of it. And goes straight down.
Right at Sordi.
Not left, not right, just straight.
Yeah, and Sordi, he was going to have to try hard not to catch that one because it hit him right in the gut.
Fortunate for the Bucks, they stay level, 0-0. This one, plenty of time left here. Plenty of opportunities for both of these teams.
There's another cross.
As exhaustion starts to play a little bit of a role, and a couple of whiff touches. Berry ends up with it. Here's Nunez all by himself up top. See if he holds. He will. He'll wait for some players to join him. Pushes through to Cato.
It's too obvious there.
Yep.
You know,
there's only one
some
option.
Opportunity. Head back to Cato. Get it the opposite side to Arenas. That was just a little bit too
foreseeable.
Correct. Thank you. Not only that, you could anticipate where he was going to go with that.
Just waiting for his player to get one step ahead, and then didn't end up working out. Here's Lustig going up against D'Souza. Still playing very physical, sitting on yellow, Lustig. Referees already had words. Likely about a little bit of back talk.
It's a corner kick. Yeah.
Gonna have a couple of subs come in for Tampa, and a couple for the Bucks as well.
In the game for the Spartans, number 23, Marcus Wilson.
Looks like 23 in for Tampa. Wilson, he saw time earlier.
And number 11, Romario Grant.
So this is good for the Bucks. Fernandez is coming back in, and Kosmalik's coming in for Lustig. So Lustig's going to get a break, which I think is a very good substitution here. So Gonzalez and Lustig get a break. They've been playing the entire match. Oh, that was a gift from the Spartans there.
Went straight out, never troubling anyone on its way.
We like that. All right.
Fernandez is going to move out here, take Gonzalez's place on the right wing, right back.
So Castellato will play the left. Continue. Yeah.
A little bit of pressure up top. Searching ball, didn't find anybody. No one really ready for it. Just more of a pressure relief than anything, it looked like.
Yep. Not sure who that was for. It might have been for Doyle, but it just missed him. Looks like a little kid. His jersey's like one size big, and you can't see any of the skin.
Got a couple of subs in for Tampa. They've got some fresh legs. Barry back with their starters.
In midfield, we'll see if they can put something together. I would love to see Arenas get turned loose, get down the wing here.
Arenas has shown his ability to get around defenders a couple of times just in this match alone.
Yep. He is just super speedy.
Just one touch away from finding the back of the net off of a couple of his crosses.
Game has slowed way down from the pace that we had earlier.
Got a bit frantic and chaotic there for a minute. Still 20 minutes remaining here, 19 and a half.
Oh, that's a nice play from Amaya.
Again, Amaya, and back as a central defender along with Fisher. Doing a lot of work here defensively for Barry.
Somebody has to come to the ball here. I mean, that's just too late. That's
way
better.
To find its way out by Ospina.
That was nice to break that pressure and switch the field.
Players come to the rescue a little bit. Here's Arenas getting around one, whipping a ball in for Cato. Cato just a step behind. He's going to get to it before it goes out, but just a step behind.
What a beautiful ball from Arenas.
There's a ball from Cato to the top of the box. Nunez looked like he wanted to take that swing. And here's an opportunity for Tampa, 3v3.
Yeah, Kosmala hesitated going forward.
Amaya stepping over number 23, Marcus Woldson, coming in just moments ago from the bench.
That's not a bad foul, actually. It's kind of a good risk reward there. If you get the risk, the risk is, yes, you get called for a foul. This is not super dangerous. It can be. But the reward is you're off to the races again. So, and the foul stops the momentum from the Spartans there. So, all in all, pretty good foul, if there is such a thing.
If there is such a worked out in Barry's favor for Amaya.
Kosmala got up there.
Here's D'Souza pushing it wide right.
Somebody would like to step up.
D'Souza taking a rip. That's a powerful ball. It didn't miss by much.
No, it didn't. It was knuckling, and I think the wind might have helped push that over the bar a little bit. But I'm thinking if we're going to step up on one person, it would be to make sure you step up on him. So
take away the time and space that he has, and I don't think you'll regret it defensively.
There's a good ball.
Nunez has Arenas out wide. We'll see if he goes there.
You can get it to him.
Too much time.
Now that time I think Arenas needed to come back, right? Come back for the ball and make the defender come with him, and then you can play the ball in behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arenas shut down his space there by just sitting out there and waiting for the ball.
Defender could just sit between them and take away the opportunity.
Wait for it. Yep. So he needed to do one or two things. He had either check away from the ball and come back, get it at your feet, or come to the ball all the way and then make the defender do something. Just shutting your own space down, just sort of jogging yourself forward there.
Here's Cato on it. Header back to Fernandez. Back to Cato to Fernandez. Doyle. A nice ball to Kosmala. Kosmala just a half step behind it. Lets it get through. Tampa gets it, gets stepped on, and gets the whistle. Sugden out wide here to Cabuzio. Could have been dangerous. Cato's going to get the whistle.
Yeah.
John Bentham.
This ref is not going to expend too much energy. You know what I mean? That one whistle at the beginning of the game might have worn him out, but he is just so low key. He's like walking. That could have been a yellow card, honestly.
Let it take its play. Take the time. Here's Ospina trying to go wide. He finds Cato. The ref's going to call a foul back here for...
Offside, I think.
Well, it looks like he gave advantage.
Offside?
I think he gave advantage earlier to a foul that wasn't there.
Gotcha, late, yeah.
So, advantage wasn't there. He'll bring the play back here. That's about as late as you can go for advantage, I think.
That's pretty late, yeah.
But the Bucks will have a free kick here.
Let's see what Doyle takes this. This is a tough angle for a free kick. You might play wide here to Fernandez and then get better angle, or wide to Arenas.
Defenders lining up to stop a shot here. Go try and chip up and over, just straight into the keeper's arms. No targets there for Barry.
Difficult. Yeah.
(17) Gabuzio thought he would make a run. Looks like he's going to try and make another here down the left side. Ball in for Woolson. Here's Gabuzio trying to make the cross. Cleared away. Nunez finds himself in a great position.
Oh!
He's all by himself.
I think he shocked himself there.
Came off of the defender just a little bit, and Nunez gives it away there, trying to find a sneaky ball into Ospina through three defenders, but...
Through three defenders is the operative phrase there, I think. Perhaps, maybe, Arenas is trying to get the ball out there. I don't know about you. Kosmala doesn't look right since he's come back in this half. He's limping a little bit.
It's been a half step late to a couple of balls.
Yeah, he has been. I'm not sure if his knee's bugging him or he just doesn't seem as sharp as he played the first half.
There's a step and a late slide by Ospina. Doesn't connect with anybody.
That's a nice ball, actually.
Found the right guy down the right wing into Sordi. Takes that away. A little too far forward on the cross.
Very nice distribution from Sordi.
Find Cato out here on the right.
See if Fernandez.
There's Nunez. Here's Cato. Cato's going to go Doyle on the right. Doyle with a shot opportunity. He goes for the cross and nearly finds the back of the net on an own goal.
Even the fullbacks ricochets go right to the goalkeeper.
Just can't get the break.
He just can't get a break here. Yeah, Kosmala, a little bit of a foul there.
Stopping play up.
We need to start turning in some karma or something, you know.
Would have liked to see Doyle take a shot there. It didn't look like the run was coming far post.
I agree, yeah. Because the keeper doesn't hold it, you've got three people there for a rebound. So I agree with you. Make your own opportunity there, but...
Of course, it finds its way through to the back of the net off a defender's foot. Maybe it is a good idea. But
I would take it, yeah.
But I would have liked to see him take a rip and bounce it there. Bucks haven't had too many close opportunities. They've had a couple of good crosses and things that just didn't work out on the final touch. But for the most part, their shots coming from way out, really, beyond the 18-yard box. Here's D'Souza. Good step.
Little touch from Doyle.
Ospina goes back to Arenas.
Arenas is gonna. He can have a shot.
Takes a couple of steps, a couple of miscommunications there on who was going to take that. Nunez still with the ball. Fernandez outside, he'll whip a cross in. Kosmala with a scissor kick.
That was Nice looking, actually.
That was
A little bit behind him, or I think he would have gotten that on the goal. Here's
a host
here
of
comes
substitutions.
Most of.
Looks like Aguirre's back in, as well as Fura, as well as Urquidy.
New is Camarota. Camarota in for midfield.
Number 16, Toby Fura. Number 3, Francisco.
After saying they didn't get much chances on the goal, they did that. So say it again. You know, we haven't seen many this half good chances for the Bucks, and that certainly was a nice chance for the Bucks.
There's Fura with the fresh legs. Step there by Francis.
Yeah.
Fisher. I'll get those two names straight, Doctor. I don't know why those two names are mixed up. I've been calling Fisher's name all night, and I still can't get it right. I apologize. I will get it right.
That's all right. Oh, look out!
There's Arenas. Arenas with all kinds of space. It's just him and the keeper to beat. Arenas finds the back of the net. Goal! Barry on the boards takes a lead. 1-0 over Tampa. 9 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. Arenas found himself with space.
Yeah.
Goes one-on-one v keeper and finds the back of the net.
I don't know who gifted him that ball, but, you know, we'll take it. And Arenas made sure. I was afraid he was taking one touch too many. But he was able to beat Richard and get the goal for the Bucks, and that is huge. I'm telling you, huge for the Bucks. Now they can get off the schneid. They can stop, you know, I guess, ruminating about that.
36.
So that was a little bit of a gift from the Spartans, but we will take it.
Well, those are the opportunities you have to take advantage of. You can create your own and try and work the ball through and create things, but when you get an opportunity like that that the defense gives you, took advantage. Going to have a little bit of time wasting here, and Aguirre's probably going to have a talking to.
I don't know why. Did he say something? Because 11 was the one who kicked the ball away. Yeah.
Just a talking to is all Aguirre will get.
Yep.
And here, standing over the ball, Sugden. Nice high ball going right to Sorty. Sorty tries to punch it away. Header attempt by number 7, Downing.
Downing.
He's going to want that back. It came right to him, and Downing just punched it over the net.
I'm not sure if he called a foul. What do we got here?
Looks like the linesman is making the call there.
I would
understand that. I would guess a foul, maybe some tugging down there.
No, but why you stop the clock is really, it's not like the Bucks are trying to
time waste
time there. It's a goal kick. That I am frequently mystified by referees.
Couple decisions.
You know, so
mystical.
Look at Akira pulling shirts. He doesn't need to do that, actually.
Trying to get around Bentham. Bentham done well defensively. Not letting many people around him from the Buccaneers.
Yikes.
Castellato waited on that much too long. I think he needed to take an earlier kick on that.
Well, I'm not sure what the assistant referee called here. Okay, just a throw-in. I don't know what all those hand signals meant there, but okay.
It looked as though he was trying to say hurry up with it, but it looked like there was confusion, so I'm not sure either, Doctor.
I thought he might have called offside on the challenge.
Oh, here's an
Watch
opportunity
out.
for Tampa. Good slide in by Amaya. That'll go out for a corner. Antonio Amaya.
The Bucks
again.
now, they score, and they're starting to lay off a little, and
This is not the 7 minutes you want to lay off.
no, you want to keep possession of the ball, and they haven't had any good possession. So
Just ball in.
There's a nice clear.
Headed away by Aguirre. Sordi covers it up. Buccaneers took the lead in this one with 9 minutes, 13 seconds remaining.
Oh, thank you.
A 1v1 opportunity from Arenas. Finds the back of the net, puts the French fry on the board for the Bucks.
Oh, now, come on, ref.
We're going to have some more.
Wow, this guy.
We stopped the clock for heavy out of bounds.
Well, I mean, you're allowed to walk to the ball.
Nice cross.
Oh, to nobody.
Just didn't find the right space. Buccaneers had 3 offensive players in the box there. Aguirre weaving his way through and whipping it back across. Well, Doctor, I'm not sure why the clock stops on all these opportunities.
Well,
but
you're supposed to stop the clock if it's obvious time wasting. But when a ball goes out of bounds, you're allowed for the defender to come up and
now we have a
take it.
foul and an immediate. Oh, this is
card,
going to a card.
Pulling of a jersey. But the ref is very, very sensitive
Seems
to
as
this.
though
And little bit antsy.
Yellow card assessed against Barry University number 5, Stefano Caramata.
I mean, I'm sorry, if you're not going to call that during the normal run of play, I'm not sure why you
call it
that.
now.
Yeah.
All I really want, Doctor, is consistency. If it's consistent, you can understand what's happening, and even if it's mystical a little bit, there's at least consistency in it. And where it's inconsistent, I think that's where you get the frustration from the players, coaches, and the fans as well. As long as they can kind of understand when certain things are coming, it makes sense to some degree. But the consistency is what you ask for. It looks like it's been a little bit inconsistent.
A little bit. It just boggles my mind that you can't walk up to take a throw when you would walk up and take a throw in normal play. You know?
Here's the cross in, couple of Bucks on the ground, looking for a foul call. Not going to get it. Here's Aguirre pushing down the right side. He'll whip it across. Arenas gonna give chase to it, but that'll be headed back to the keeper.
Get up. The Bucks need to compact the space here.
Long ball for D'Souza. Casalato heads it out.
That's the player you want to make sure doesn't beat you there.
Casalato says happy for that one to go out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Long throw. Back out. That'll go for a corner.
Yeah. Castellato is saying that he got pushed in the back, and he did. All right, so here, this is slightly big corner kick here. Less than 5 minutes left. This is Sugden that's driving it.
Ball headed away by Kazmala. Whiff. There's a nice. There is some speed behind that ball when it comes off the Souza's
and
foot.
it's just not only that, it's just knuckles so well. It's just really well struck.
There's been a couple that just haven't dropped from shot to hitting the back fence. They just don't drop.
Yep.
Here's De Souza again. It's a foul.
Fisher's foul.
Gonna have some words. The referee's gonna step between them. Souza not happy about getting fouled.
I don't know what that. I don't think it was particularly egregious there. I really don't like the Bucks giving up all these fouls.
Lots of set piece opportunities here for Tampa in these final minutes. Barry holding on to the lead, 1-0. Here's the ball in. Finds his way across the face of goal. Buccaneers fortunate nobody found their way on the end of it. But Sordi on the ground. It looks like he had a collision with the defender number 2, Ramsey Torre. And Sordi's going to require some assistance from the trainers. Players waving him on quickly, which is not great news for the Bucks or for Sordi. Probably have. Looks like he's holding his head.
Hit in the face, yeah. There's also a player
D'Souza's down on the ground as well.
Yeah.
A particularly unfortunate series of events for both teams here. Sordi getting attended to. D'Souza not sure what is ailing him. He's on the ground as well. We hope both of the players are all right. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here. Buccaneers with the lead off of the Arenas goal with 9 minutes, 13 remaining. Buccaneers looking to pick up their first conference win here. Still 3 minutes and 30 seconds to do to defend the lead here. Souza's up on his feet.
I don't see. We're not looking at blood, which is nice. So Sordi's up.
Well, both players up and walking, which is great news.
Yeah, he's pointing to his neck.
He's going to have some words with the ref.
Yep.
The ref, I think, is going to allow him to stay on. Maybe not.
Well, the goalkeeper can stay on. D'Souza, being a field player, does have to step off. All right, 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. And the Bucks need to get some possession of the ball a little bit better and stop fouling.
Yes, don't foul in those dangerous spaces.
Let's not foul in the back there. And don't let D'Souza sneak in right now behind you.
Got to do a good job of holding on to the lead here.
You got to. This is an unfamiliar territory for them this season, so they're going to need to now hold a lead and close out the game. And obviously, the more you maintain possession of the ball,
less opportunity Tampa will have to try and close that lead down. Here come the Bucks.
That's a beautiful ball.
Ball forward to Urquidy. Urquidy on the left side. Comes inside the area. Puts the ball into Aguirre. Aguirre looked like he almost got pushed from behind.
Look at Urquidy.
Urquidy all the way left to right across.
Nicely
That'll be touched out.
Nicely
Buccaneers
done.
throw. Urquidy putting in work here.
Just keep it down there. Yep.
Hang out by the corner flag.
Which I hate, but
And he didn't hold it for too long down there. It goes out for a goal kick.
Now the Bucks need to get reset. Why?
Not sure why.
Oh, another extra ball was on.
Well, that'll do it. D'Souza back on the field for Tampa. Castellato makes a slide. It goes past him, but he finds himself on it.
Nice ball. There you go.
There's Arenas with space.
Send him to the corner.
Arenas, he'll hold up, go back to corner, hold up. He needs help. He needs someone to come back, try and maintain possession here for the Bucks. Here they go. They'll move the ball backwards as long as they don't give it away in an unfortunate spot.
Yep.
Bentham stepping in. Bentham's been a hawk on that ball.
Ooh, he's offside.
Here's D'Souza offside. Yep, flag's up. Sordi makes a save anyway. Doesn't matter. Flag was up. Does feel good to get that save
now, don't
anyway.
Stop the clock now, referee, because he's the one that took the shot after the play.
After being called offside, and the ref will call it.
See, that is not right. D'Souza's the one that took the shot after the whistle. So this ball should not. Yeah.
Again, none of this happened before the goal, and,
no. And
that's where the consistency comes in for me.
No, that's just not right.
If it happens before the goal, it's perhaps a bit odd, but it's consistent.
He's the one that delayed the match, not the Bucks. So that's a terrible call. All I mean, it's at least a minute.
Oh, at least. Minute 14 remaining here. Buccaneers with the lead. Less than a minute to go against Tampa. Shot coming across. He's well off.
Only, and again, taking the shot.
Clock continues to run. Long ball, Arenas not going to win that going up against their right back. Here's Urquidy staying strong and standing strong, trying to sneak a ball in through for Fura.
I wanted him to play Aguirre.
Aguirre had space out wide, can take it, take some time off. Maybe an offensive opportunity here, but it's all about that time. Ball stays in. Aguirre still on the ball. Here's Fura, chipped up and over to Urquidy. 10 seconds remain.
8, 7,
no fouls.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
That will do it. This will be the end here. The ball finds its way to Aguirre in a spot where he probably could have made the turn anyway. Buccaneers pick up the first win of the season, 1-0 over Tampa. They improved to 1-3-1 as Arenas picks up the goal. 9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. He went 1v1 with the keeper. Found his way to the back of the net and puts Barry in the win column today.
Just big time. You can't really overplay this win, and this is kind of what it's going to be like with the Bucs this year. I think they don't have tons of scoring power. You're going to have to squeak them out 1-0. You're going to have to survive these late into the matches, and they can take this as a blueprint going forward.
Absolutely. They find out how to hold on to a lead. It wasn't pretty to begin with, but they end up with the win on a great goal from Arenas. It looked great. Bucks with some great opportunities and some good saves by Sordi on defensively. Defensively had some really strong performances from Fisher, Amaya, and all around, really. The Buccaneers pick up the win. We'll take a quick break here. We'll have an interview with head coach Steve McCrath. He'll make his way up to the box, have an interview, and get to talk to him about the win today. Excited to do that. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. He'll be up here. We'll take a quick break and be right back with you here at GoBarryBucks.com. Buccaneers with a win over Tampa.
Watch out.
Shot, and Schiraldi is there to make the save.
Lustig's lucky that he didn't make contact.
Look at this ball. Perez! Oh! Whipped it out of midair. And the Bucks have tied this game at 2.
Welcome back here to Buccaneer Field. Buccaneers picking up a win here against the Tampa Spartans off the goal from Arenas. Here in the 9 minutes left, Arenas found himself one-on-one via the keeper. What was going through your mind when you watched him make that break? I'm here with Coach Steve McCrath. I guess I should introduce you first,
it's all
Coach.
Right. You know, we're all
I'm getting a little excited.
I'll tell you, the way the year's gone, I assume we should all be forgotten by this point. But to be fair, I thought, I don't know what I thought, to be honest. I usually would have a nice little quote, but I think, to be honest, I thought, don't let it happen again. I mean, with everything that's happened this season, I mean, we've been so close on certain things, even as ugly as that situation was that we earned. It's great because that kid, Ivan, I guess that was it. It all came at one time, like a car crash where they say, you know, your life flashes before your eyes. You know, he's been the last 3 weeks has really raised his game in training sessions, and it's like each moment he's just gotten more and more confident, like the kid that we recruited. And for it to fall to him, I just kind of felt like, hey, that's deserved. And then I thought, hey, he's going to get himself a chance. And then I thought, oh, please don't let it happen again. And he just calmly stuck it, and I'm proud of him because, and the rest of the guys. But that's really what went on my head in that moment.
It was a lot of fun to watch up here. Arenas able to find his way around the defenders quite often here during this one. So you find your way into the win column here, Coach. It's been a long time coming. You have some games left. What did you learn about the team after they went ahead? There was still 9 minutes left. They had to defend that lead. What did you learn about your team in those 9 minutes that you can take forward?
We're just as hard-headed as we are when we're not leading. There's some things that the guys, I think there's some things that if they could make life maybe a little easier on themselves, they probably would be in the lead, to be honest. Like, I mean, if you'd watch this game and you just watch it again and said you don't know what the record is of either program, you would tell yourself, okay, I think at this point this team, you know, in the red is going to take away the game, and you know, maybe 2 or 3 goals up. And we just, for one reason or another, it's like when it's the clinical moment, you know, people are getting quiet. And so I think right now it's we're there, and that's what I've told them even the last game. We're there. You just got to do it. So I think that's what I'm taking away is that, well, we got one. That's good. Now what we can do from here.
Well, hopefully the floodgates have opened up with that one. It always takes that first one. Somebody's got to break through. Arenas did it today. We'll see if he continues on in the next one or if his teammates follow him up. But the floodgates have been open, Coach. We hope that it goes your way. You guys have a game coming up here October 11th against Lynn. That'll be a home game at 6 o'clock. Anything in particular against Lynn that you're looking at? Lynn is third in conference. They've got 3 wins under their belt at this point. I don't know what they've done today, so they may have added to it. But
honestly, I think it's for this team where we're at right now. It's okay. It's Lynn. It's the next game. Obviously, it's a rivalry game just because we've always had such great battles. Tampa, I mean, most of the conference games now are actually becoming some form of rivalry just because everybody's so strong. But I think right now the most important thing for us is enjoy this. Don't go over our heads too far. And then what are the things Lynn does? What are we doing well? How will we make that work? And I think if we can keep our spirits in the right place and keep our heads in the right place without getting fat, like, oh yeah, we got to win, it's all going to happen now. That's what I'm most concerned about right now.
Sounds like you've got some work ahead of you, Coach. Well, it was a really fun one to watch today. Barry winning 1-0 over the Tampa Spartans, getting themselves into the win column. They've got work to do against Lynn on October 11th. Join us again here, GoBerryBucks.com at 6 p.m. on October 11th, where the men's soccer will go back at it and try and pick up another one and keep this ball rolling. Coach, appreciate you joining me here. Coach Steve McGrath, the legend here at Barry, taking care of business today. Barry coming away with the win.
Cheers, everyone. See you on Wednesday.
We thank you for joining us here. Be back October 11th. GoBarryBucks.com. We'll see you there.